All right. For segment 1 today, what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about gear. We're going to be talking about weapons, vehicles, and gear for Twilight 2000. I am not going to spend a lot of time in here. My focus for this is going to be repairing gear and then just looking at some of the numbers of how the gear is presented so that when you are playing your game, you can understand what is going on. Let me get this over here, get that off over there, and that on. All right, there's our book, which... Okay, there. I said F11. There. All right, so our little field manual there, and we want to go to gear. Now, this chapter is going to be crazy long, so while I'm finding the page on here, where does it say it? Please check the description to links to where you can support Legion of Myth in whatever way you want. Donate to our charity would be great, especially since we're talking about gear and equipment today. Wounded Warrior Project, man, you should check that out, and you should donate to our charity. Or donate to the links that Teeth and Dog's putting on the screen right there. Is this link actually going to work? Oh my God, one worked. Didn't send me to the last page of the book. All right, scroll over. So we're going to start with weapons. Well, here we go. Actually, I guess we'll start with helmets because that's what's on here first. What is this? Why? Wait a minute. Oh my God, are you kidding me? It did send me to the wrong page. Weapon, there we go. All right. Luckily, I kind of knew what it was. It says here, equipment is the key element of Twilight 2000. So let's talk about trade. Chapter 3 describes how you get your starting gear. Acquiring new equipment during the campaign will not be easy. You'll have to fight for it or barter hard. As mentioned in Chapter 3, in the year 2000, the world economy has collapsed and there's no uniform system of currency. It's barter and trade, baby. Barter and trade. Or if you got some shiny metal objects, that might be nice too. Instead, trade is done by bartering. As a replacement for US dollars and other traditional currencies, small arms ammunition is often used as a base unit for transactions. Starting to sound like Mutineer Zero, isn't it? Maybe Mutineers...
But I don't get it. Using bullets as money is stupid. It's a really dumb idea because you are making sure that anyone who wants to come and see your stuff can kill you. I don't get it. They'll kill you and just take it.
Maybe it's mutually assured destruction. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It just seems like a bad idea.
Let's play it off as you've still got more ammo. That's why you can give it up. I don't care. Here, I have a few bullets. Whatever. I got thousands more where that came from. I dare you to take it from me, even though you're down to 2. Couple of punji sticks. Is it the gear lists in this chapter indicate the approximate prices given in rounds of small arms ammunition. So we'll remember that going forward when we look at prices. This is how many 9mm Freedom Seeds we are going to be trading. Use these prices only as a rough baseline, as the value of an item can vary wildly between locations and situations. The referee has the final say on what NPCs will demand or offer for a specific item. And it's probably just
be desperate. The referee will take advantage of your character. That's the way it is.
It's also based on needs. You know, if you're trying to get some fuel from somebody that's the only way they survive is by having some generator run, and you know they've got a quarter tank left, and now you want to take it from them, you know they might be charging you a lot. On the flip side, maybe you did something heroic for them. You saved them from some bandits who are going to take that fuel. You know what? I think we can split half of it with you. You never know. When bartering with an NPC for an item, the referee first sets an asking price in bullets or other goods. Your other goods is going to come up a lot. That they deem reasonable. It can be higher or lower than the list price, depending on the situation. Assume that everyone always try to get as much as they possibly can from every transaction.
That's just fair. Yeah.
Next, if you want to negotiate the price down, roll an opposed persuasion roll. If you succeed, the price is reduced by 10% for each success rolled. If you're paying with something other than bullets, you'll need to make a judgment call on what that result means. The referee has the final say. When you attempt to sell an item, the process is done in reverse. The NPC makes an offer, and then you can roll persuasion to get the price, I'm guessing, up.
Yeah. I might have something wrong with this, but keep going.
Okay. Each success will increase the price by 10%, assuming the NPC can actually pay the sum. After the roll, you can decide whether to accept the deal or not. Bartering between PCs, should it occur, is handled without rolling dice. That's called role-playing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a problem.
Okay.
It nowhere put a floor on the price. If you're very persuasive, you just might be able to,
No, it says per success. So the maximum is 40%.
Oh, maximum 40%. That's right. The game system has a floor. Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is fine. Look, but I have a high charisma or a high empathy, and I should be able to bilk anybody that I want.
Yeah, the dude's got to eat, man.
Yeah, and bilking somebody 40% is a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Reliability. The list prices for weapons and vehicles assumes items with full starting reliability ratings. For each step of reduced reliability, you can reduce the list price by approximately 10% as a general rule of thumb. But it only has a reliability of 3, and that means it's 33% broken. Right, but you still have a usable item that you can fix.
And it's cheaper. Buy a whole success.
Supply. Often more important than the price is the question of whether an item is available at all. Many goods are rare, and the PCs can't expect to find everything they're looking for in any little settlement they come across. Each type of gear has a supply rating. By the way, lots of games do this nowadays. And I think that, I don't know about the specific system here, we'll find out in a moment, but I think generally speaking, this type of system is a good system to figure out, does this little small town have that unique item you're looking for? Probably not, but there's a chance. Each type of gear has a supply rating, which indicates the probability that your characters can find this type of item offered for trade in a typical settlement or scenario location. So you have common, fairly ubiquitous, even in the year 2000. Roll a d6. If the result is 3 or higher, so basically you have 2/3, so 67% chance of it existing there. A new roll can be made each week because people come and go. Scarce, you need a 5 or a 6, so that's 33%.
33. Yeah.
Yep. And rare is tightly guarded. It doesn't even say. It just says not generally
it's
available.
Up to the referee.
Yeah.
It's up to the referee. Yeah, whether they have it or not is whether the referee wants you to be able to have it or not.
The table below indicates typical supply ratings for a range of items as well as the quantity available if the supply roll succeeds. Note that these are just rough numbers. Okay, so if you want knives, gloves, pistols, basic stuff. Kind of surprised that pistols are common. I know it's like war, but it's also post-apocalyptic, and everybody wants a gun that works, right? But pistols are common, so they'll have D6 of them laying around somewhere, either at a shop or somebody's willing to trade or something like that. 2d6 times 10 rounds of ammo. 2d6
Which is
times
understandable because that's dollars, right? So traders are going to have dollars.
I mean, just sitting in my bedroom alone, I have 850 rounds, and that's not counting what's in my bag.
What do you need 850 rounds for?
In case I'm broken into more than once.
You're not going to pump 850 rounds into home invaders, all right?
Because buying in bulk is cheaper than buying, 100 at a time. Actually, of my self-defense ammo, I only have 100 rounds. But of my target ammo, which is like what we shot, just ball ammo, I have probably about 2,000 rounds in the house as a whole. I'm rich in this world.
Yeah. In the world of Twilight 2000, Shalow's the king of the hill. Great.
And in case you think you're going to come and take it, I have 3 guns at like every place in the house within arm's reach from me. So good luck. Scarce. Machine guns, rocket launchers, mortars, heavy weapons, ammunition. Basically, it's easier to get this stuff then than it is now.
Well, that's because there's no bureaucracy behind it anymore.
Yeah, fair. Oh, there you go. There's your atropine.
Oh, great.
Gasoline and diesel is scarce. Pistols are not, though.
No, that makes sense. I mean, gasoline and diesel not only has to be refined, which means you have to have power, you have to have manpower, you have to have time, but gasoline and diesel degrade over the course of a couple years. So yeah, it's going to be scarce. Even if you had a stockpile a couple of years, you're not going to have a stockpile anymore. Oh, no, that's not fair. It'll still work. It'll just suck. It could damage the engine.
Yeah, so many items though. A lot of people don't realize this. If you were to just stop oil today, don't be people would die. It wouldn't be tomorrow necessarily, but people would die within a year. A lot of percentage of people would die quickly because so much of what we have in this world, I'm not just talking about your lights or your stove or your heating for your house. I'm talking just items that you have in the world. This cup was made with oil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anything plastic, forget it. Forget it. Half of it's going to be gone because you need oil to make plastic. Now, they do have synthetic plastics that don't require oil, but the process to make it is so expensive that, sandwich bags are going to be $5 a piece.
And then rare items, which, as Heathen Dog says, is up to the game master or the referee, guided missiles.
That makes sense.
Really need a guided missile. Well, where do you think you're going to get one? That little village over there, those farmers, I know they got one hiding in a barn somewhere. Well, let me roll. Howitzers, APCs, main battle tanks. And if
one. Yeah. If they do happen to have this beautiful golden idol item, they only have one of them. Traders are like that.
Do we want to read this one? Rolling supply of weapons or vehicles. You may only make a roll for each type of item. For example, assault rifle. You cannot make separate rolls for M16, AK. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Look, beggars can't be choosers, man. Mm-hmm. Reliability. When you have established that a weapon or vehicle is available, the referee rolls a d6 on the table below to determine the reliability rating of the item. Yeah, go ahead and roll if you want. See what we found for you here.
See, okay. You actually have a battle tank. All right. Is it a Russian battle tank? So if it is, let's find out.
Well, actually, there's an advantage.
It's a Russian battle tank.
But there's an advantage to the Russian battle tanks. Russian battle tanks, because they're made the way they are, can almost survive anything other than being hit.
Yeah, other than combat. Yeah. No, but I rolled a 1. So yeah, it is definitely a Russian battle tank, which means it was not maintained. So its reliability starts at -3. That sucked. I was hoping for at least an Israeli battle tank, but no, I didn't get that.
I mean, to be fair, until recent times, German tanks weren't all that reliable either. I mean, everybody loves the Panther and the Tiger and so forth, but they weren't all that reliable. All right. Let's look at, we got to look at repairs, scavenging. Actually, more rules in this chapter than I thought. Gear can suffer damage and be broken through the use of attacks. I think we explained some of this before, but we're going to get into the specifics now. As explained in Chapter 3 and 4. Each piece of gear is a reliability rating. Each point of damage from pushing rolls or outside force will reduce the reliability rating by 1, and we're going to look at these numbers when we look at some equipment. When it reaches 0, the item is broken and can no longer be used. A typical piece of sturdy mechanical gear in good condition has a reliability rating of 5, but delicate or badly built gear can start with a lower rating. So you could have something that's really pristine, but if it's a Fabergé egg, it's still only going to have a reliability of 1. So if no hit reliability is used, assume it to be 5. Okay. Repairing a broken item typically requires a shift of work. Makes sense. Tools of some sort. And a tech roll. You mean I can't just hand tighten everything for the tank? What the heck? And a spare part of the relevant type. Vehicle, weapon, electronic, or general. If none of the others apply. If your roll is successful, the spare part is consumed and the piece of gear is restored to working order with a reliability equal to the number of successes you rolled. So if something's broken, so his tank that's got a -3, theoretically, he could fix an afternoon, or as long as he gets a success.
Or it would take several. It would take 3 spare parts over 3 different shifts.
Yeah.
If I only get 1 success per shift, but if I get 3 successes on the first shift, that 1 spare part fixes the whole thing. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It just needed the gearbox changed. Okay, cool.
The reliability can never go above the listed value. If your roll fails, you can try again the next shift. Personally, as a game master, I would only let you do 2 shifts per day. No. I guess, it depends if they're 8 or... I see them as 8 hours, so that'd be 3 shifts in a day. You have to sleep for the other one. Or I'd give you penalties.
Or you have lots of people who can man 24-hour shifts. If you got that, then, hey, you're a warlord. Good job.
Right? Restoring reduced reliability rating before the item is broken also requires a shift of repairs and a tech roll, but no spare part is needed. So if you're fixing it before it's broken,
you don't need a spare
int-
part. You're just doing preventative maintenance at that point, or you're
Got
just greasing gears, changing the oil, cleaning the air filter, stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I didn't focus on the fact that up here it was about if it was broken, but
Yeah,
yeah,
if it's
okay.
broken, yeah, if it's like my second
Your
hand,
tank's not
third
broken.
hand, fifth hand Russian tank, it's got a reliability of 2, but it's not broken.
Right.
So I can jimmy it up, and I can,
just
bring
have
it
to
to
wait. You
3,
just have
4.
to spend the time and make the tech roll.
Yeah, have the tools, have the knowledge, and I can not repair it, but I can get it in better working order.
Well, I mean that's repairing it.
Well,
Fixing the bumps and nicks out of it. I mean, it wasn't broken. You could always drive it and use it, but now it's got a higher reliability. The engine's in better condition. It can take more damage. It's
Yep.
All right, now scavenging for parts. Because this is a post-apocalyptic world, you can scavenge spare parts from items that you come across. If you spend a shift scavenging parts from one or several pieces of gear and make a tech roll, you manage to extract a number of spare parts of this corresponding type. Remember, we talked about this, I think it was last week or the week before.
Yeah, week before, I think.
What I didn't know until now, because I've actually dealt with Free League and spare parts before, I didn't know they broke it into 4 different types of spare parts. I thought it was just general and electronic, but apparently it's weapon, vehicle, electronic, or general if nothing else applies. So if you're taking apart Heathen Dog's tank because it's only reliability 3 anyway, and you figure it's probably an easy score, you're going to get vehicle parts. I mean, it does kind of make sense. I mean, you're not going to be using the tank to fix your toilet.
True.
Unless you're a really special case.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Equal to so you get to of the corresponding type equal to the number of successes you roll in that tech roll, up to a maximum total weight equal to the items themselves. Wait, what?
I don't know. Whoa, okay. I didn't get that one. Hang on. If you spend a shift scavenging parts from one or several pieces of gear and make a tech roll, you manage to extract a number of spare parts of the corresponding type equal to the number of successes you roll, up to a maximum total weight. When did weight come into this? Equal to the items themselves. I don't understand why weight is in here.
So hold on to that for now.
Okay.
When we look at the equipment, we'll see if there's something there about that, like a weight category for the equipment. If there is, then maybe that's what it's about. If not, this might be another one of those times where you have to go to the forums. By the way, any book, oh God, I got this a few times now. If you put in the comments, well, if you read the forums or if you watch somebody else's video, no, the book should tell you how to play the game. Okay.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Each item has a weight. For encumbrance purposes or just for whatever. So going to an M16, let's say it has a weight of 5. I don't know what it is. I'm just throwing 5 out. The most spare parts you can get out of that thing is 5.
Okay. I mean, that does make sense because this game actually went above and beyond the normal tiny, light, normal, heavy, where heavy could actually be multiple lines. So that does make potential sense. We'll find out when we get to the items for sure, but that does make sense. Jury rigging. If you can't find the gear you need, you might have to build it for yourself. Somebody asked this question recently, if it's jerry rigging or jury rigging. Jerry rigging are weirdos. It's always been jury rigging. It's never been anything else.
Well, I don't even use that. I just use MacGyvering.
Okay. I mean, if you were alive in the 80s, you probably get that.
Yep. Well, no, there's a new MacGyver show. It just sucks, but.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Remaking everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some items in this chapter can be jury rigged. If so, indicated in the gear. If can be jury rigged. If so, indicated in the gear list. Kind of a weird sentence there, but this includes crude weapons, but also larger items such as stills for distilling fuel.
Sure.
Jury rigging an item requires a tech roll. A number of shifts of work and spare parts is indicated by the item's description. Okay, well, we'll have to look at a couple items to see what that's about. You can try again if you fail. A workshop. If you have access to a workshop, which in the next video we're going to talk about a home base, that might be a good place for your workshop. With advanced tools, you can build even advanced gear given time and the right raw materials. Read more about this in the section about base building later in this chapter. Hey, next video.
We'll get to that later. But yes, you can build your own tank from spare parts that aren't specifically tank spare parts if you have a fabrication facility. Sure. It's going to take you more than a minute, but sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes something was misprinted or something in a book, so I'm not against errata, but I really hate it when people act like you should. Well, you got to go to their website to find out all the information. No, all the information is supposed to be in the book. I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking about like, I don't care that the book's poorly written. I'll just go to the forums and find out. No, it should be in the book.
Wrong thing.
That's wrong thing. Exactly. All right, so. Weapon features. So we're going to have type, ammo, rel stands for reliability rating, so that will be an important one. Rate of fire, which indicates how many ammo dice can be used in the attack. Okay, base damage, critical. Yeah, all these things we kind of looked at before in the combat section. Range is the short range of the weapon measured in 10-meter hexes. Okay. Magazine, number of ammunition the magazine carries. Armor modifier of the weapon. Remember, armor modifier increases the strength of armor. Remember that. Weight, the weight of the weapon measured in encumbrance units. And okay, so this will be the part for getting scrap parts.
Also the maximum number of spare parts you can get from something.
Price, the typical price of the weapon in rounds of small arms ammunition. Okay. And if we have to look at the abbreviations later, let's just pick a couple of things in here. We got a bottle, we got a knife, got a club, we got a spike bat. Okay, we're looking at the spike bat.
All right.
We're going to go all Negan on people here. So it's got a reliability of 5. Okay, so that bat can take a bit of damage. It does 2 damage.
Sure.
So if Heathen Dog rolls his dice, I don't remember what your character had for close combat. But
for melee, I don't think I have a lot of melee combat. I have to go back to my character here. Hang on. No, I do. It's just not very good. All right, so my strength is C, and my melee combat is C, so that's going to be what? 2d6?
8.
2d8. Okay. So right here. No successes.
Okay, no successes. Well, let's just pretend for the moment that you got the maximum number of successes you can, which is 2. So if he got 2 successes, the first success would deal 2 points of damage. Let's zoom in on that, because that's the damage of the weapon. But he got an extra success, which increases the damage by 1 more. So that would be 3. Well, guess what? 3 is the crit.
Is the crit threshold.
Yes.
If you do at least 3 damage in a single attack with this weapon, you get a critical hit.
Right, which means you roll on the injury table that we talked about during the combat section. Now, the thing is, though, if I'm not wearing armor, I'm screwed, right? Because it's a spiked bat. That is going to hurt a lot. Go watch the Walking Dead season, whatever, when Glenn got mashed in the head. If you happen
to be a really nice Asian boy, you're going to die.
All right, there you go. Now, the flip side of that is, if you're wearing armor, now your armor gets a +2 bonus. So, we haven't looked at armor yet, so let's just throw out there, I'm wearing armor with a rating of 2. I don't know if that's medium, heavy, light. I don't know. We'll find out in a little bit. It is now considered an armor rating of 4. So your damage of 3 versus my armor rating of 4. How much damage did you do to me, Heathen Dog?
Let me think. Carry the 1. Nothing.
He did literally -1 damage. Thank you for healing. I mean, no. He did no damage because the armor rating adds to the armor. I've talked with a couple of people about this that don't play the game, and they're like, that just sounds backward. And at first glance, yes, I get what you're saying. It does seem backward. Like, shouldn't things penetrate armor? Shouldn't things, like, you're not used to making the armor better when you're hitting it with a weapon. The point of this is a crude weapon. Armor is made to stop bullets. Armor is made to stop, just say more modern types of a weaponry. So yeah, this bat right here against an unarmored opponent, It's nasty.
absolutely ridiculously deadly. But
Can
any
SWAT
kind of
armor?
modern armor is going to be highly effective. I mean, the weakest bulletproof vest is going to have at worst a ceramic plate, which is going to stop that bat like nobody's business. It's not those what do you call it? Those nails are not going to penetrate that ceramic plate. I'm sorry.
Right. Now,
You have human strength behind it. That's not going to happen.
so Heathen Dog, what if you're wearing a Kevlar, or you're wearing a bullet, not just Kevlar, but a bulletproof vest, right? You got your little plates in there.
Yep.
But you've got basically unarmored arms. You got an unarmored head. You're not wearing a helmet. You got unarmored legs.
Called shots are not my friend.
Boom. There you go. Yep. No, you called shot. So yes, if you see that somebody's wearing armor and you've got a bat, you might want to start making called shots to the head, to the arm, legs,
Yep.
So, all right. Well, and the weight of this is 1. So how many spare parts can you get out of this thing?
1.
All right. Would it be weapon or gen?
Nails.
Would it be a weapon
or the wood?
Part
I don't know.
general?
One or the other.
Well, with the spare part, this is what I actually like about the abstract spare part system. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you're not looking for every single paper clip. You're not looking for every spike. You're just looking for the spare parts. And I do think I like encumbrance. I think it makes things like dungeon crawls, or in this game, if you look about what carrying a backpack does and so forth, it adds that element. Like, do you want to carry the crap and then be slow and unmaneuverable? Or do you want to set it down and hope that you can come back and pick it up at some point? Or do you want to leave it in the vehicle and hope that you get to go back to your vehicle? Those are choices. I love those kind of choices. You can only carry so much, but I don't like spreadsheet simulators that counts hairpins.
Yeah.
So
think of spare parts as widgets with an adjective.
Yes.
It's a weapon widget. It's a vehicle widget. It's whatever. As long as you're working a vehicle, any vehicle widget will do.
Exactly.
You can make it fit.
All right, let's go to something a little different. If you see anything in here you're interested in, I'll stop. Else, I'll find
compound
something.
bow.
Compound bow.
The hunting bow. Yeah.
The hunting bow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the compound bow. Yeah.
So, reliability of 5. Damage is only 1, but
makes sense.
Crit is 2.
2 though. Yeah.
Range is 4, so that's 4 hexes for short range. Armor is only a +1 penalty. Why? Because it's got some velocity, it's got a sharp point, but it's still not moving at 1,200 feet per second.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little not sold on the armor penalty for some weapons. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
When we get into firearms, you're actually going to see quite a few firearms that have armor penalties on them, and I found it to be somewhat interesting. So again, weight 1, so you can get 1 spare part from this, and price is 150 bullets.
Yeah, I don't get the weight 1 though.
Well, for
the other bow, for the improvised bow, weight 1 I understand, but for the hunting bow, I mean, number 1, it's going to be heavier than the improvised bow, just because it has metal in it and it has pulleys and a lot more high tensile.
When I was 7-8 years old, I used my dad's compound bow, and while it had a 55-pound draw to it, which is pretty low, but I couldn't pull that part back, but I could run around the house with it, no problem.
Oh yeah, but come on, man! I'm weight of 1 and a weight of 2.
So you gotta remember, weight of 2 starts indicating that things are cumbersome.
And I would say a compound bow would be cumbersome. I would, and plus it would have more spare parts in it. I mean, it's got 2 pulleys. I'm looking at them, just from there. It's got the sights.
I don't know, but I think you have a form of autism that it's like. Yeah,
it's just weird. It's just weird.
I mean, so I guess what I'm trying to say is. It's when you get to weight 2 items, those are usually things that you have to carry with 2 hands, either because they're ungainly or because they're heavy. This right here, you can run with in 1 hand. I'm not saying run and shoot. I'm just saying you can run with in 1 hand. So when it takes up an inventory spot, It's just a normal item. I honestly can
I get
see
it.
that.
Okay, my real problem is
Mhm.
not really the weight. It's just that spare parts, they attached it to weight. So now you have two metrics you have to balance at the same time
Okay, I see
that
what you're saying.
apparently are not, completely congruous with each other, because I would think you would get more spare parts from the compound hunting bow than you would the improvised bow. I mean, it makes logical sense. You'd be able to scavenge more things from the compound bow than from a regular bow. But they're the same weight, which means they have the same spare parts. And how
See, I
about the
would go.
crossbow? That's definitely going to have more spare parts than the improvised bow, but they're the same weight,
Right,
which
but
means
I
they have
think
the
I would
same
go
parts.
the other way, though. But you can't. You literally can't go the other way. I would say you can't get any spare parts from the improvised bow.
Oh, you can get wood,
Yeah, but that
string,
that that
lashing.
new that nuance is way too far
I
down.
know, I know,
But you
I
but
know.
you
I
have
get it.
but you have to get one because it has to take up an item on the inventory.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think you're diving too deep into it instead of just looking at the general. Now, to be fair, this crossbow here has being a scope on it. That's an attachment. That isn't your crossbow. And I think that if somebody's being really either pedantic but it's right there in the picture. No, you have to buy a scope and attach it. It doesn't come with the crossbow. So, not now you're talking two items and two spare parts. But that's just the way they drew it. So. And you have all the crossbow is actually worth 200. Wow. Wait, can be jury rigged. So improvised bow can be jury rigged with one general spare part, and 2d6 arrows can be made from branches with a tech roll and a shift of work. There you go.
Okay.
And I know somebody in the comments will be, why would it be tech? It doesn't take technology. It's because they only have 12 skills in the game, and that's what they win. Anything to do with crafting is tech.
Yeah.
All right. You got a service revolver. You got your police Glock 9mm combat pistols. That's a Beretta 9mm. Bolt action rifle. Okay. Oh, it's only a 30-06. Never mind. I thought they were going to go with like some high powered 7mm or something like that. A pipe gun. We're going to look at the pipe gun because this is some prison crap. Okay. Pipe gun is an improvised firearm made from pipes, nails, and scraps to fire rifle shells. This is your jury rigging gone nuts. They are unreliable and inaccurate, but generally used only once to gain a better weapon from the victim.
Makes sense.
This weapon can be jury rigged using two weapon or general spare parts.
Okay, so you can make it from nothing if you have two weapon parts or two general spare parts.
Yeah, if you look at it, you kind of understand why.
Yeah,
it's just a rod with some wood that you duct tape to this thing that will just have it.
But what they call unreliable, I don't know, man. Base is 5. This one's 3 in reliability. I mean,
anytime you push your roll, that has a good probability of going down.
Yeah, but if you push your roll firing a weapon that's mainly held together by nails and duct tape, dude, you deserve what you get. Just miss. Just be a man and miss and live to fire again.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You might not live to fire again if you miss.
Yeah, but you also won't live if you blow up your only gun.
I'll go for the hit. 9 times out of 10, I would go for the hit.
All right.
The only way I wouldn't push is if it would possibly kill, or not possibly, if there's a reasonable chance that it would actually break my character. Because getting hit by weaponry in this game is no joke, and I would rather lose the gun and hit the opponent and try and take his, like as it says here, than miss and have him take me out. Semi-automatic shotgun, pump action shotgun, double barrel shotgun. Remember, the shotgun rules are a little different. Zip gun, reliability of 3.
Pipe gun. Well, no, there's a pipe gun there. Oh, it's a shotgun pipe gun. Sorry, this is your handgun pipe gun.
Yeah, the zip gun is the handgun pipe gun. Yes, because you're not 3D printing. Just saying. Military weapons. All right, now we got the 1911 A1. So. Just for the sake of argument here, because people are always like, you're going to get kicked off of YouTube. No, I'm not. So my gun right here, let's see what it says about it in the book. It says it's 45. That is right. Reliability of 5. I give it that. Rate of fire 2. I can use 2 ammo dice. That's it.
Armor +1. Shut up. Shut up.
Hold on. Let's before we get there. Damage 2, crit 3, blast no, range 2. Yeah, it is a pistol. I get it. Magazine 7. Well, mine's 8, but okay. 7 is the standard. Armor +1. I want to get back to that though, because I'm wondering. I want to find something out. Price is only 100 for a 45.
I know, right? That doesn't make any sense at all. A 9mm is 150, but this one's 100. You hit someone with a 45, they fall down. They have the courtesy of falling down for you. You hit someone with a 9mm, they might not.
Combat pistol. What is this? 9x19. Yeah. Okay. If this was +2, I would agree with the 45 being +1. But it is not.
No. Apparently, all handguns are +1. Shut up.
Are they really? They might. Oh, you might be right. If that's the
Except
case,
the revolver is +2. Oh my god. Whatever.
Well, I'm not gonna. Well, it's a 38, dude. 38. Yeah. Okay. I can get with that.
But it's still a bullet fired from a contemporary weapon, not some bow or makeshift made out of Coke cans gun.
Okay. Remember though that the armor that they're talking, you have to be wearing armor for it to matter. And a 38 will typically penetrate Kevlar. I'm talking strictly Kevlar, not with the plates in there.
No plate.
38
but
also been known to get stuck in the Kevlar,
which still didn't penetrate your body. So I'm, whatever. Okay, fine. But a +1 then, I would say. But a 9mm, I could get by with a +1, but a 45 or a 44 having the same penetration value as a 9mm. Number one, no, it doesn't.
No.
At all. And number two, what the hell are you doing, writers? Huh? What the hell are you doing?
Unless it's, you might be right though. You might be right in that they just generalized all pistols as being less power than rifles. And if that's the case, I won't argue, because let's be honest, I haven't looked at this M16 down here. The 223 for the M16, it's 5.5 seconds different. The 223, shut up. It's basically the same thing. Absolutely has much, much, much more power than even a 45.
True.
So let's see what it says. Oh, and the game doesn't use negative modifiers that I'm aware of. I think we did find one, but doesn't generally use negative modifiers. So the M16 is what? So you can use some M16. No, this makes sense. Check this out. Assault rifle. I like this. Reliability 5. Have you used an M16?
M16A1 is not reliability 5. There is an argument for the A2, but not the A1. Shut up.
So no. I've used the M16, the M16A1, and the M16A2. Rate of fire 6. Now, rate of fire 3. Do you know why that is? This is just a little
because the A1 still had full automatic.
Yep.
And the A2 you can only do semi.
Only do and burst.
And yeah.
So, so they're accurate there. Damage 2, crit 3. Okay. Range 5. 6. Ooh, really? Is the A2 better accuracy? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. To me, it was the same dang thing as far as I was concerned. But to be fair, I sucked with the M16. I was good with the 9mm. Just like at home, I'm great with my 45. But M16, I wasn't that. I didn't do that well with. Armor 0. Okay, so now we're talking that armor has natural resistance to just rifle rounds.
And all the rifles that came before had armor 0 too.
Yeah,
except for the pipe rifle.
Pipe gun, yeah. My guess is that that's exactly what it is. Rifles are full power, pistols are a little less power, and then makeshift guns are +2. But always remember, folks, no matter what we're quibbling about here, it only matters if you are wearing armor,
or if you're not aiming and hitting a place that doesn't have armor.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, you hear stories about foreheads and leather jackets and rib cages stopping 22s. Yes, but I wouldn't stake my life on it.
No. No. Those are not gamblers' odds. No.
Right. M4. Okay. Yep. I never used an M4. I used the GAU5, which is, I think, the precursor to this, but I never used an M4. Crit, same thing. So 2, 3, basically the same stuff as the M16. Probably just a little shorter range is my guess. Where's the range?
5 and 6.
Oh, 5 and 6. There we go. 4 and 4. Okay, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
M40A3. Is that a sniper rifle? Marine Corps sniper rifle. We got Vietnam. Yep. So where's the damage on this thing? 3 crit 3. I'll accept that. I was mad at first that the damage was only 3, but if you're starting out of the gate with crit 3, okay.
Yeah. That means you're gonna crit if you hit, right?
If you do damage, yes.
Yeah, if you do normal damage, you're gonna automatically crit. So that's
no.
Fine.
There's a caveat to that.
Oh no, what?
If you do damage, and let's say I'm wearing armor and my armor rating's 2, because I just want to use this.
Right. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Damage would only be 1, so it wouldn't be a crit. My armor would have saved me from the crit.
Sure.
But any unarmored opponent,
automatically he gets his limb blown off or whatever. Yeah. Which makes sense because that's what these things do.
Yep.
That's what they're for.
Got a sniper. Wow, you got a sniper rifle over here with a rate of fire 2, so you can use ammo dice with it.
Which is weird, but okay.
It's an M4. Yeah, it does look like an M14. I never fired an M14, but I did use them on honor guard alongside the M1.
Hang on, let's move to the most powerful rifle we can find on this thing, which I think is the next one. It looks that one.
The M82A1?
Yeah.
Damage is 4, crit is 3. Well, there you go.
Even if you have armor, you can still crit really easily. That's funny. I like that.
M79. Okay. Yeah, I know the M203. I don't know the M79, but all right.
Well, that looks like a portable grenade launcher.
Yeah, it looks like the kind of like the M203. Like the stock is upside down, but like an M203. Oh, here's M203 right here. Although replaced by the M203, okay, it's still widely available among combat units. All right. So damage 3, crit 3, but it has a blast radius of D. If you guys remember the combat section, we talked about how blast radius work. So it's not a big blast radius. It's actually a pretty small blast radius, 1 hex. But if you're in that hex, now, again, somebody's going to argue about the fact that it shouldn't have a full 10-meter explosive damage. The game only works in hexes.
Yep.
So you'll be okay. There's the M203, the over-under. Mark 19, I used to do tournament. I wasn't part of them. I was actually on the facility side of the tournament that used to see, when I stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base, used to see tournaments with the Mark 19. Where's the blast is D, because it's using the same round, so blast is D. M249 got the saw. I love the saw, the sound of the saw. Magazine is 200, so rate of fire 6, so you can use all the ammo dice. That's basically what it means. You can use all damage 2, crit 3. Okay, I've never actually seen it.
I would think it'd be more, but all right.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the saw to know. I'd have to talk to a saw gunner. I know a few, but I don't know enough about it myself. I'll stand by and say that's probably close. M60, yeah, okay. The M60 does more, so I'll give the saw a break then. Weight is 3, so you can get 3 parts out of this thing.
Well, it is pretty heavy.
3, yeah, that's fair. Oh, now we're getting the big boys.
No, just skip to the minigun. There's got to be a minigun in here.
No, this is the 50 cal, man. We'll check a minigun in a moment, but the 50 cal is important. Rate of fire is 4, damage is 4, crit is 4.
Weight 7.
Is there never a time when they make the crit less than the damage? And I ask because
we found one. One.
I would think that the 50 cal, the Browning,
it should be another one of those. I mean,
it should be like a 4 and a 2.
Yeah, damage should be 4 and crit should be 2 or 3 because that thing is made to go through walls into people
and take off limbs.
Yeah.
If you survive.
If you get hit anywhere with that thing, you're probably going to die if you're in the field.
Then we got some bigger boom booms. Oh, the dragon, that's neat. The toe. Wow, it costs 10,000 bullets for this. That's it.
No minigun? Come on, man. Jesse's pissed.
Jesse's pissed. Well,
Jesse's pissed.
A real person trying to fire a minigun wouldn't go well. And then you got Soviet weapons as well. We spent too much time on the weapons up there.
No. You got to go to AK-47. I want to see the reliability. It better be 6.
Okay, well
Better
that'd be
be
the AKM then. I mean, when I was firing them, I preferred the 74, but a lot of people complain it's more plastic. Okay, whatever. AK-47, damage is 2, crit is 3, reliability is 5, rate of fire is 4.
That's utter bullshit. If someone says, "Oh no, the M16 A2 is just as reliable as an AK-47," that person doesn't get to talk to me anymore about anything. I've seen the demonstrations side by side. The AK-47 is more reliable in almost every aspect than an M16.
Yeah, the whole dropping it in dirt thing, picking up and firing.
Mud, dirt, water, sand, doesn't matter. It's gonna fire. M16, it more often fires by accident than on purpose.
Well, I don't know about the on accident, but I can tell you this: when I was in combat training, and then they stepped on they drove over it with the Humvee. They stepped on, they buried it in dirt, buried it in water. They did mud. It was mud, not dirt. Picked it up, shook it off, pop, pop, pop. Right. M16 did the same thing. Picked it up, and said, "I'm not.
I'm not firing this. It's gonna blow up in my face. It's gonna blow. I have. You can knock an M16 and cause it to malfunction. I've seen it. So,
yeah. I'm actually now okay with the fact that pistols have +1, because when you're looking at these like trailer mounted weapons with the armor rating, is just 0. Okay, you know what, the pistol can have a +1. Well,
yeah,
like I said,
but the thing is, I mean, see, they're okay. Things like this should have 2 armor values. One of them has to be negative, the other has to be 0. The -1 is for personnel, and the 0 is for vehicles and structures.
Well, right here, now we have
armor
a -1.
There you go. That's an RPG. Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. You hit a person on RPG, they're gonna die just as hard as if you hit them with a 50 caliber, punch through my bunker rifle.
Well, this does have a blast rating of C, so that means it's going to hit 1 hex and the next row of or circle of hexes outside of it. So yeah, I'm not going to quibble over this. I'm not trying to be Jane's weapons here. I just want to see if there's consistency.
Balanced. I don't think it's balanced correctly.
I think it's consistent though, and that's I'm more concerned about that. I mean, I would argue if I was really like, oh my God, military war simulation, all of these weapons would have to have an armor rating of negative something, but I accept the consistency of it. Damage is 4, crit is 3 again.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So I don't know why the 50 cal doesn't have that, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then Swedish military weapon, nobody cares about IKEA weapons. Polish military.
Wait. Do any of them have reliability 6?
Right. Missing parts. It should be
either extra or missing parts is required.
Polish weapons. Remember, the game was originally Warsaw Pact versus NATO, so the focus of the game was in Poland. They've added Sweden in here because a Swedish company now owns it. And they've got Uzis, and Uzi does not do a lot of damage. It better not. Okay, yeah, good. Okay.
Range 1, that's fair.
Panzerfaust? Wait, I thought the Panzerfaust was the... I guess I was wrong about what the Panzerfaust was. I thought the Panzerfaust had the big knobby looking thing on the... damage 8, crit 1. There you go!
That's the way to do it. And the armor's -1.
Good luck.
Yeah, you're not surviving that. Sorry, buddy.
What's the blast rate? Blast is C?
Yeah, that's 20 meters in any direction. Yeah, sorry, buddy. It's over for you.
Then we got some hand grenades. All right, let's artillery. I don't have time to read everything here. We got a whole other chapter to do. We got an idea of what the weapons are. Let's look at some vehicles real quickly. You can pause the screen if you want to see what they're worth and what's going on here.
Where is my crappy Russian tank I bought?
You didn't know you had a truck, I thought.
No, it was a tank.
Well, today but I thought when you made your character, I thought it was a APC. Or a truck. I think we kind of.
I have the tanker specialty. So I would want a tank.
Well, here's your Abrams.
Not a good tank. I want a crappy Russian piece of junk.
I mean T-72. It's a T series,
Sure.
T50. Oh, T55. There we go.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's my Huckleberry.
Made in
Reliability 5. Shut up.
Well, everything
Shut
in the
the hell
game
up.
basically has a
Make me
reliability of
47
5.
5. Then this thing is a 2.
Yeah, your tank is a 2.
Yeah, but that's only because the guy I bought it from didn't know how to change oil.
He's leaving street. You're driving down the road. You got just a puddle behind you.
Exactly.
How often do you
What's that?
change the oil?
It's either oil or hydraulic fluid or both. I don't know.
How often do you change the oil? Every 5 miles.
Oh, you mean, oh no, change? No, replace. I replace oil every 5 miles.
So what is that? Front armor is 6. Now remember, when you're doing charging attacks, what armor do you use?
Rear
armor. So you do 4 points of damage with this T55. Okay. T80. Did they have T80s in 2000?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not as versed on the Russian tanks anymore. In the 90s, I was. And
But
more
the weight of these things, like those tanks, what's their weight?
Wait.
How many spare parts can you get out of them?
Type. I don't see it here.
I don't see weight here either.
Okay, let's. Maybe you can't get any. I don't know.
Well, if it has no weight, that means you can't get any spare parts because these two things are linked.
Didn't it say 5? No, that was reliability. If it didn't say anything, use 5.
Yeah. That's weird.
Oh no! It did. It didn't say. It didn't say it this week. Last week, I think it was in the video last week. I think it said that whatever you roll in your tech roll is what you get out of it, and then once it's done, you can't scrap it anymore. Somebody can verify that by watching the video from last week when we talked about.
I do remember that. But that's a man. What? It's overcomplication. I mean, you have a mechanic that doesn't work across the board. I would try and find a mechanic that works for everything.
Yeah, I would also say that since you were talking about repairs and so forth, even though it is in another chapter, you should have put it in this chapter as well. Because you were talking about
it should have been under repair. It should have been there as well.
Okay, I just want this because of how awesome it looks.
I don't know about awesome, but it's useful.
I want it. What is it? The Bandwagen is a tracked, articulate, all-terrain transport that carry up to 17 soldiers or 2.5 tons of cargo. There's all your scrap right there. It's developed in the 1970s, particularly useful in winter environments due to
the cracks. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Poland and Sweden have a lot of what? Oh, winter.
Yeah.
It's armored personnel carry version. Okay, so 206S is the armored version. They give stats for both? Nope. Oh, yeah.
Well, it gives armor. 333.
Yeah, I was wondering if it gave the alternate armor.
Well, alternate armor would be 0, right?
I mean, I think it'd have a little armor. It's armored personnel carry version of the BV-206 and carry up to 12 combat-ready soldiers. Well, okay, so this is the version because it says 12 plus 1.
Okay,
yeah. Fuel type is G. Is that gasoline? Oh, I bet you it's G or D. I bet you it's G.
Diesel, so I would imagine, yeah.
Yep, there's diesel. Okay, yep. G and D. Got it. Gas and diesel. Don't mix them. If you want to be really pedantic, of a European diesel and American diesel is different.
Whatever.
Anyway,
I'll be back in a second.
Let's go to something else here. A car. Okay, let's look at armor. What is the average armor rating of stuff? So Kevlar. Kevlar's armor of a Kevlar helmet is 1, flak jacket is 1, plate vest is 2. So yeah, plate vest plus Kevlar helmet. Okay, depends. Now, does 1 plus 2 equal 3? No. It depends on where you hit. This protects your head, has an armor rating of 1. This protects your torso, it has an armor rating of 2. So. And then we got radios with ranges, signaling gear, observation gear, protective gear, medical supplies, tools, and spare parts. So what does a med kit give you? So a personal med kit gives you a +1 to medical aid rolls. That's good. Okay. A doctor's medical kit gives a +2 to medical aid rolls. Surgical equipment gives another +1. Antibiotics gives a 3. That's crazy. Wow. +3 bonus in a Year Zero engine game. And then we got gasoline and stills, so you can make your own. Food, drink, electricity. Again, we're not looking at everything. And then we go on to home base, which we'll be talking about the next video. So that's good enough for this video. You got an idea of what the numbers were, how things are going to look in the game. That was the whole point. We quibbled over some of the stats. I don't have a problem with the way it is presented here in terms of the numbers, simply because it's consistent. If we really want to dive into each particular weapon, so just for the sake of argument, I'm making a game myself, and this is one of the areas that's been causing me the most frustration. And I use a different system. It's called penetration value, but we'll just go with it. I'm very stressed over the penetration value of stuff, or the power level of the weapons, because you can have this hunting rifle be a piece of crap and this one be, 10 times better, but I don't want to go out there and use the Jane's guides to figure out what every gun is going to do. So I kind of categorize them similar, more categories than this, but similarly to this. So my point is, I get it. Even if you can quibble over it, change it in your game if you don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only things I have a real problem with is the fact that number of spare parts should be in the retrieving spare parts section. All the rules should be there for any type of spare part you want to get, and that's not true. And the other thing,
if it's already mentioned, even
if it's already mentioned, it should be in the repair section or the spare parts section should be there as well. And this is just me, but since I was there at the physical demonstration for an AK-47, giving it base reliability is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It's just
I think that the point of reliability of max everything is 5. That's pretty much the max.
No, it actually said base is 5, and then it's modified from there.
Yeah, but nothing here. If you look at all the reliabilities, I haven't seen anything that's higher than a 5. Everything's 5, 5, 5.
I know,
5,
right?
5.
Then
except for jury rig stuff. Jury rig stuff was a 3.
Yeah.
Again, I don't mind the consistency of that.
Yeah, like I said, that one's a quibble, but yeah.
So, but it makes it simple. It makes it easy enough for. Remember, this game is half role-playing game, half tactical war game. I think it finds the balance. Is it a perfect role-playing game? God, no. Is it a perfect war game? Well, ask any of the Napoleonics. They'd lose their mind over the lack of we'll say, rules in this game.
Yeah.
But I think it is a good balance for somebody who's a BattleTech player who would actually add role-playing elements to the BattleTech game, even though we're just playing a board game. This hits a sweet spot for me, but it certainly isn't perfect on the role-playing side, and certainly isn't perfect on the war game side. So,
right.
What do we have for comments?
We got comments. We got Raven here. Man, these videos are really getting me back into Twilight 2000. Have to see if there are any Foundry modules.
I think there are. I'm pretty confident that there are Foundry modules for Twilight 2000.
Okay.
In fact, they've got a couple of new ones, Hostile Waters and the Black Madonna. I'm pretty sure that those came with Foundry modules that I probably have access to, but since I don't use Foundry.
Then we have Kokoshuko saying, is Eurodiesel different?
If I'm wrong about that, somebody can correct me, but I know that when I was overseas, they talked about it all the time. Like, hey, you cannot take your German diesel car to the States because you have to do some modifications to it. And it isn't about governors or whatever else. It's about the fact that the diesel in the States is different than the diesel in Germany.
It's probably the required compression is different.
What's interesting, though, is diesel gas is cheaper in Europe. Diesel gas. Yeah, you heard me. Just deal with
diesel fuel.
Yeah, diesel is cheaper, unlike the States where it's more expensive. So they want you using diesel out there.
Not a lot of aircraft in this world. I didn't see any in the list. Did you? I didn't even see a helicopter. I thought I'd see at least a helicopter in there.
They have some art, but yeah, there's no. I mean, let me scroll up again. Just light tank, APC, main battle tank, car, truck, IF. What's an IFV? Main battle tank, light truck, all-terrain carrier. Yep, I don't see any aircraft. That might be intentional, though.
They just don't want you to have it.
Well, where would you land it? What's
Well,
broken?
that's why I said I expected a helicopter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the other books has them. I don't know. Like there are 3 books. So this week, right? So we're doing weapons, vehicles, and gear right now. Then we're gonna do home base in the next video. Next week we're gonna finish up with travel, and then we're gonna hit chapter 2 of urban ops for the city rules. And the week after we're gonna hit Black Madonna for minefields and hostile waters for water and navy. So we're almost done with this book. And there's only 2 more weeks after today for Twilight 2000 stuff.
That's all starred comments.
Okay. Cool. Well, that actually went on longer than I hoped it would go on, but we look.
I'm sorry.
We were fine. We were looking at things. Showing it off. Did we dive into every single number for every single item? No, but we gave you an overview of the scrap, the repairs, with the reliability, the important factors of it, and then showed off a few items and moved on. If you want to know more, buy the game. Patch your nice free league and buy the game, or go find the original Twilight 2000 if that's what you prefer. Whatever you like. By the way, this game is actually supported, as in they like it, the original creators of Twilight 2000. Cool. I thought that was neat. So there you go. Little tidbit of information. And now with that, you can like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for the next video where we talk about your home base. And what I found interesting about the home base chapter, because I only skimmed it, unless I'm mistaken here, it's not nearly as in-depth as your Stronghold and Forbidden Lands, your Ark and Mutineer Zero, or whatever. It seems to be much more generalized information. So is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. We'll find out in the next video.